Welcome to Premier League Quick Review. After 9 rounds, you could say the Premier League has officially descended into chaos. Dark horses are charging up the table. Apart from Arsenal, who remained steady at the top, every other team looks like they've got a shot, yet no one seems entirely sure how far they can go. Just take a look at the current top 4. Few would have predicted that Bournemouth and newly promoted Sunderland would be there. Yes, Bournemouth sit second, and Sunderland, the Black Cats, are inside the top 4. Let's start with Bournemouth. Last season they did well, but this year their entire back line was almost dismantled. Even key winger Ouattara left the club. Yet somehow, they are still second in the table. Their young manager deserves huge credit. He's kept the structure, inspired discipline, and proven that smart organisation still beats big names. Then there's Sunderland. Last season, they finished only 4th in the Championship. But in the summer, they spent more than £100 million and brought in nearly 15 new faces. Their coach, the little-known Frenchman Le Bris, has built a team that's compact, gritty, and perfectly suited for the Premier League. They defend deep, strike on the counter, and make the most of every set piece. Just ask Chelsea. Sunderland beat them at Stamford Bridge using their trademark long throw, hand grenade, tactic, smashing straight through the Blues' back line. Now, let's turn to the big picture, the 3 title favourites everyone predicted before the season began: Liverpool, Arsenal, and Manchester City. This season's keyword? Adaptability. We've mentioned it before, this year's Premier League has gone full retro. And this retro wave is blowing stronger than ever. So, what do we mean by retro? It's the return of the classic English style, long balls, crosses, aerial duels, the kind of football that once defined the league. Teams are once again focusing on set pieces and throw-ins, areas that had become almost forgotten during the era of pure possession football. Why? Because the age of endless short passing and intricate build-up play has hit its wall. For years, even Pep Guardiola's Manchester City found it hard to break through packed, low-block defences. So other clubs have decided, why overthink it? Go wide, cross early, play direct, and let chaos reign in the box. And with every side pressing high these days, there's one sure way to beat the press: go over it. No press can stop a well-placed long ball. That's why the art of the long pass is back in fashion. How well the top 3, Arsenal, City, and Liverpool, adapt to this tactical shift could define their seasons. The keyword remains, adapt. Change brings survival, stubbornness brings pain. Let's start with Arsenal, the best example of change done right. They've raced to the top of the table, already 6 points ahead of City and 7 ahead of Liverpool. And their success comes down to one thing: flexibility. They saw this tactical shift coming earlier than anyone. Over the past 2 seasons, Arsenal have become the Premier League's kings of the set piece, scoring more goals from corners than any other team. They understood that breaking through compact defences would only get harder, so they invested in creativity from dead ball situations. This weekend's win over Crystal Palace, last season's FA Cup champions, proved it again. Their goal came from a perfectly executed corner routine. So far this season, Arsenal already lead the league in goals from set pieces. They are miles ahead of everyone else in that department. Their foresight also shows on the defensive end. You know the saying, attack wins games, defense wins titles. For 2 consecutive seasons, Arsenal have conceded the fewest goals in the league. This summer, they didn't panic. They simply reinforced what worked, adding striker Victor Gyökeres and replacing the departed Partey with Zubimendi, while strengthening depth with young Spanish defender Mosquera. They also brought in Ecuadorian Hincapié from Leverkusen, who can cover both centre-back and left-back, another smart defensive insurance policy. The results speak for themselves. In October, Arsenal won every match in both the Champions League and the Premier League, keeping clean sheets throughout. After 9 rounds, they've conceded just 3 goals domestically, and they shared a record of 3 straight Champions League wins without conceding, the same as Inter. At this rate, Arsenal might even challenge Mourinho's legendary record from his first Chelsea season, only 15 goals conceded in 38 games. Now, let's move to Manchester City. Their unbeaten run of 9 matches in all competitions came to an end with a shock defeat at Aston Villa. That loss also snapped Erling Haaland's incredible streak of scoring in 12 straight club and international matches. At the start of the season, we thought City had already evolved. They'd mixed things up, especially in the Manchester derby and their clash with Arsenal. We saw them pull the defence slightly deeper, a sign that Guardiola was willing to adjust. But clearly, the change hasn't been decisive enough. Against Villa, they slipped back into old habits, patient, ground-based passing, trying to unlock tight defences with endless build-up. But Villa's low block and compact shape left them frustrated. They had too few crosses, too little direct play, and no aerial threat. Worse yet, City's set-piece defending remains a weakness. They conceded again from a corner. Watkins and McGinn both found themselves unmarked in the box. It's surprising, considering City's height advantage. And going forward, they are still overly reliant on Haaland. Outside of him, no other player has scored more than 1 league goal so far. French midfielder Cherki has just returned from injury, and his creative passing, especially those clever chips over the top, could inject new life into their attack. If Cherki and Malmus can click together, perhaps City's offence will regain its variety. Now to Liverpool, the defending champions, and currently in trouble. 4 straight league defeats. What's gone wrong? In a word, defence. Liverpool are now conceding the same kind of goals, week after week. Opponents have figured them out, attack with high balls, exploit the left side, and wait for counter-attacking chances. This summer, Liverpool spent £200 million, yet after an early 5-match winning streak, they've completely lost their rhythm. The coaching staff must take responsibility. Just look at the pattern. In 4 straight matches, Liverpool have conceded inside the first 15 minutes. In the Manchester United game, they were 1-0 down within 2 minutes. After 9 rounds, they've already conceded 14 goals, compared with just 5 at the same stage last season. Why? Partly because of massive defensive turnover. They underestimated how fragile that back line would be after selling Konsa and failing to bring in Palace defender Guehi. Both new fullbacks have struggled, and to make matters worse, Alisson has been sidelined with injury. The result? A shaky, unsettled defence. Manager Slot and his staff have spotted the problem, but too late. He admitted after the latest defeat that they had spent an entire day preparing to defend Brentford's set pieces and aerial threats, yet still conceded early. What's the solution? As the saying goes, if you're weak, train harder. Liverpool need to end their bad habit of conceding first. 9 straight games in all competitions have seen them go behind early. To recover, Slot must settle on his strongest 11, stop the constant mid-game reshuffles, especially in midfield. Until Alisson returns, he'll have to rely on Mamardashvili adapting quickly to Premier League intensity. Centre-back pairing Van Dijk and Konaté should stay. At full-back, Colts hasn't adapted well. He can play in the League Cup, but in the league, especially next week's crucial match against Aston Villa, Slot should bring Robertson back on the left. On the right, rotate between Gomez and Bradley to see who's in better form. In midfield, Szoboszlai has been Liverpool's most consistent performer. He must be the core, not shunted wide. Hopefully, Dutch international Gravenberch returns soon. With him and Szoboszlai anchoring the middle, the team's resistance under pressure will improve. Considering Villa's strong central progression, Liverpool may need 3 defensive-minded midfielders next match. If Curtis Jones and Isaac are still nursing injuries, the front 3 could be Gakpo, Diaz, and Salah, though Salah's form has dipped. Yes, he scored against Brentford, but beyond that, his chance creation and dribbling have vanished. Slot might consider giving Chiesa or Florian Wirtz a shot on that right flank. Wirtz, after all, delivered 2 assists in the big Champions League win over Frankfurt. He may be better suited as an impact sub away from home, but at Anfield, starting him could add spark. Liverpool's next 3 matches are all at home. They need to take all 9 points. The midweek League Cup tie is a chance for rotation, but the key clash comes next weekend against high-flying Aston Villa, 4 straight wins already. Slot must find his best starting lineup quickly and turn Anfield back into a fortress.